Well, I'm just going to come out and say it right now. Today was an absolute clusterfuck. I spent 6 hours? No. Yeah, like roughly 6 hours trading. One of my trades was like 4.5 hours long. And I walked away today with like $11. So, yeah, that wasn't so fun. We'll start with the first trade of the day. The first trade of the day was good. Let me get this zoomed in a little bit. So the first trade of the day started off like right here, near-ish +2s, +1s, just the sell zone. So I took the short there, and I walked out with like $40-something right there. But then the next trade I took was here, and I think I just went ahead and stopped myself out. I wasn't trying to do anything crazy. I waited for this to hit its bottom, and then I thought it was going to come back up to VWAP, and it never did. So I kind of just let that be. And then I did it again. You know, I called out the fact that, you know, I'm trying not to buy into market drops, and of course here we go. I did. What happened was I was in the trading room with my mentor and the members, and I was just seeing them take longs and stuff, and I was like trying to be patient because I thought, oh well, surely since we were way up outside of the bands here, we were gonna probably drop through for a little bit before we came back up, but that's not what happened. What happened was there was just nothing but smooth transactions here from the -2s up to VWAP and almost the -2s right here back up to VWAP, and then I was like, you know what, we're in a narrow pattern, let me go ahead and take this trade in. Sure enough, I took the trade, and congratulations, loser. I got stopped out, and that pretty much wiped my profit from the first trade out. And then I was like, you know what, I'm not going to let that get to me. I'm pretty much at a scratch right now. It's no problem. Well, I let this drop, get, I take the time to let it get back into the bands, and then I buy in right here. I could have been, I guess a little bit more patient and bought in right here, but it doesn't matter too much in this circumstance. I was in the buy zone anyway, so I took it, and then I made a half. I knew this was on the I knew this was just like not really a decisively good idea. I would say that it wasn't really a terrible idea, but it wasn't a great idea to assume that this came up and bounced off of this, because even before it hit right here, let me zoom in right here. Even before it hit right here, I'd already assumed that this was a bounce, and then I went to go take another contract. Well, lo and behold, we got up to here, and this was going to be the highest point for the rest of the session before I ended up closing out the trade. And from 11:30 all the way up until basically 4 o'clock, I was just in this rut of just endless chop. And the argument is that I could have been buying at the -2s and selling at the -1s, and then -2s, -1s, but I didn't really see that coming until I was already in this trade, and I was like, you know what, maybe I can wait this stuff out. Sometimes it just kind of fizzles out. The other day, we were actually in this chop, just like this. I don't have it in one of my video recordings because this was last week before I started recording for YouTube. But we were doing this, and I said, you know what, screw it. I'm just going to get in and play the bands. And like sure enough, like less than 5 minutes after I spent, I don't know, like 2 hours, 3 hours, somewhere around there, like between 2 and 3 hours, I decided to get out. No kidding, like less than 5 minutes, it broke out and then went straight to VWAP and past it, and I was like so angry with myself. So I decided that I was just going to wait this out, because the last thing I would want to do is have a repeat circumstance of that. And, well, as you can see, it didn't do it, even up to this point now where we just hit market close. So I walked away with today with $11, which is, frustrating, but if we're going to look at it from a glass half full, I haven't lost any money. And I haven't really been showing my trade journal, but so far we are at like $70 for the week. My target goal is 250 a week. That's my first like tangible target goal, because it's going to start getting me closer to my more long-term goals with growing these prop firm accounts. But 250 a week is the goal, and today we walked out with $11.50. So it is what it is. Tomorrow I'm just gonna come with a full reset. I'm not upset with today. I think the way I look at today is it was just really taxing to be in a trade for so long, and I keep hearing all the time, and it seems to be more true than ever. It's like the longer that you're in these trades, the less likely you are for it to come out favorably. and it just seems to be more and more true. I'll say that I got away with this one with kind of a break even. I was down almost $100, getting close to my stop loss before I even before it was able to come back up and swing a little bit more favorably for me. Yeah, it hit down here, and I was at somewhere between $90 and $100, and my stop loss was pretty much like right down here. And we just happened to be able to come back up. I was getting excited because I was hoping that we were actually going to touch VWAP, which would have actually been a nice profit because the difference between here and here with 2 contracts was fairly considerable. But it didn't end up happening, so I'm not going to be too upset about it because we're not even on a red day. It's a really, really small green day. And I think that's about all I got. Today was just explicitly trading the Dow. I've been trying to be more careful. The funniest part about it too was that I briefly looked at taking a trade right here, and then I just decided no. I mean, part of me didn't want to take the trade because what time was it right here? Oh yeah, I had just gotten into a trade pretty much right here, so I was long, and I can't really hedge with prop firm accounts. I don't want to get in trouble and not be able to get a payout eventually with one of these accounts. But I did look at it briefly for a small time and considered buying in because it was so close to these all these prior past support pivots right around here. So that's the funniest part too, is if I had just thrown this in the trash and looked to take Dow, this would have just hit VWAP right when I needed it to. But that's the game. That's the game. It's always a little bit easier to see it in hindsight. So, yep, that's all I got. If you have any questions or comments, go ahead and drop that down in the comment section of the video. Thanks for watching. See you next time.